This is Boxing Tickets NA in association with SB Sports Chaco. We're here at the media workout and delighted to be joined by the main event for next Saturday night, Craig O'Brien. How are you, mate?
I'm all good, mate. Yeah, pleasure to meet you. I think this is my first interview with you, is it?
Very first interview I've done with you, and obviously we had to do it in person. Most people's done it in Zoom. Me and Ray done it about a year ago in Zoom, but great.
No, it's better in person.
I've obviously seen you up in Belfast, obviously right, earlier in the year, but when you don't have fight news coming, I guess there's not really a lot to talk about, is there?
Yeah, absolutely. I was up there for Daniel's fight when Daniel made his pro debut. I see you up there, and then I was up there for Eric's as well. I was in the corner for Eric's fight, so yeah, I've seen you up there. You're busy, and anyway, yeah.
I definitely keep him busy. If I keep busy, it means the missus can't make me do any cleaning, so that's my excuse, you know. But I guess for yourself, 13 months out of the ring, but obviously you're headlining the National Stadium. Who would ever thought, obviously, nearly 4 years of boxing missing in Dublin, did you be back and you'd be headlining?
Yeah, it's brilliant. I had an amazing night over there in 2018 when I won the Irish title. I was the headline act there. It was live on TG4. It was just brilliant. So to be back there now after so many years of boxing, not being in the south, never mind in Dublin, it'd be it'd be amazing. I'm looking forward. I'm sure there'll be a great crowd there and great sport. It'll be a great night of action. Yeah, brilliant.
I guess on everybody's lips at the minute, obviously, you know, you probably didn't have to say the words out, but CP Croke Park 2023. Everybody, are you nearly going to fight each other as a box offs in Celtic Warrior to see who can put their name forward?
Yeah, I didn't think of that, but that's actually a good idea, isn't it? Because everybody's going to want to go on it. I did an interview yesterday with Kevin Bourne on the Rocky Road podcast, and he asked me the same question, but it's like, yeah, it's a who's going to go on it, like, as in the sense, like, everyone's going to put their name for it, but it won't be that easy. Like, I'm sure Eddie will have his own boys, prospects or people that English boys who want to get on as well, so yeah, we'll see what way it goes. I'm available hopefully after the 19th and anyway, and I'll be about if they want to fight at light middle or middleweight, you know what I mean?
I guess if they wanted to do like a UK versus Ireland sort of thing, it might come in the play in that way, particularly if it's Chantel Carmen's the opponent for Katie, but I guess all you can do is obviously focus on next week, obviously get back to winning ways. Obviously your last fight was out in Italy in October of last year. I know at the time, obviously, you were sort of disgruntled at obviously the fact that the title was thrown in, but I guess more than anything in boxing, as we're seeing, obviously, a Kazakhstan boxer hospitalised and obviously in a coma last week, you sort of look at it now and you look back and you go, Packy made the right decision because they probably thought you were hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, yesterday, Kevin asked me this question on the remorse against Pascal, and I don't, you know what I mean? Pascal, we've been together for years, he's had me back, we go around the world travelling together with boxing, and I see him with commissions, whether it be in the UK or USA with Spike, and even that night before we went out to fight, like, the guy dropped in my boxing gloves and passed, like, where's the opponent's gloves? He's like, oh, they're in the dressing room. He's like, well, can you get them? I want to see them and stuff, you know what I mean? So he's always on the ball, he's always out to look after the fighter, and as much as I was devastated in hindsight, I knew why he done it, you know what I mean? And he was protecting me. He didn't have a great view from where he was, even though it was grand, but it didn't look that way to him, if that makes sense. So yeah, it is what it is. You
were boxing obviously very well that night as well, and I guess probably when people looked at it, you can't really have a couple more seconds. You can't go give it a couple more seconds, because obviously if he'd have seen your head coming up, you'd go, he's still fresh. But there was obviously talk of obviously then the rematch of happening again. What sort of happened since? Was it just not put to you that it was out of the way?
You know what, it's funny you say that, right? So obviously the fortune is people do get injured. You see last weekend a guy boxed on a top ranked show at PBC and he got put in a coma on Tuesday from a shot, you know what I mean? So it does happen, so you understand where Pat's coming from. And as far as the rematch, I got offered the rematch on 2.5 weeks notice. It was April this year, so yeah, you wouldn't do much in 2.5 weeks, you know what I mean? If they wanted it, they would have came to me for 8 weeks or 10 weeks out, you know what I mean? That was a good fight. It was 5 rounds. It was a good fight. And it was building. It was an 8-round fight, and I was super fit. I would have beaten him. If I went this, I had his number. I would have beaten him. But you can't with that shot. I went back again the rows, past the third. I was hurt. It's boxing, isn't it? It's highs and lows, and yeah, it was just one of them moments, you know. So, but hopefully, kicking off now November 19th, they can get a bit of momentum behind me. Maybe they're gonna run shows a bit more frequently in the city, and yeah, I can be at the head front of it, and over the next 12 or 15 months we can get a run of it, because I know, which I didn't even know, and I read a quote, I had 3 fights in like 3 years, which is not great momentum at all, you know what I mean? So the more I fight, only the better I'm going to get. So please God it works out November 19th and we can push on then. Where
do you sort of still see the dreams and obviously vision of yourself moving forward? Obviously the reason I ask is obviously Eric Donovan's retired there at 37. He achieved his dreams in the sport. Where do you sort of see your sort of pinnacle in the sport, that the minute that it'll tell you, right, Craig, you've had enough, you've hit where you want to go, now you can obviously retire on your own terms. Where do you sort of see your ceiling in the sport?
That's a very good question, you know what I mean? Because I know when I started out, I was loving the Irish title, and I got the Irish title, and I got the BOI title, and I've had brilliant nights fighting all over the world and travelling all over the world through boxing. And before I went back boxing, I was running the muck elsewhere, you know what I mean? It was boxing was the last thing on my mind. So the sport has been amazing for me. I've got a beautiful family now, so I don't know, man. I'll take it as it comes. I just want big fights, you know what I mean? If I'm going to fight, I want big fights, you know. So even this fight is at middleweight, which is it's okay because I've only had like 6.5 weeks now. I'm in great shape, man. I'm nearly on the weight already, but I should be light middle, you know what I mean? And I want them title fights, you know what I mean? All Irish clashes, like, because they named this show 10 weeks out and there was names thrown at me, Irish lads, and I was like, yeah, let's go, you know what I mean? It didn't happen for other reasons, but hopefully after this fight, I don't know, man. As I said, if they can run shows constantly for the next 12 or 15 months and I can be on it, well, we might get international fucking fights and a couple of 10 rounders or 12 rounders, or even done what Eric done, you know what I mean? Who knows? So yeah, I'll just take it as it comes, but yeah, I have no dreams now. My dreams was winning the Irish title, and I've sort of done that, so now I'm just like, I'm down with it, if that makes sense.
You sort of be driving home today and you go, why did he have to ask me that question? Now you got me thinking, and then you'll be going, I've got you an answer now, but it's off the video. But I guess it's whenever you don't know your ceiling, obviously where you want to sort of finish off. You know, we've obviously seen great success, obviously recently for the over 30s club, as I call them now, and obviously Irish boxing. You had Eric's obviously won, Ando Kakachi, Dennis Hogan, Paddy McCrory, Dara Foley. Everybody's all doing it in the over 30s club. So why not add your name to that list?
Yeah, absolutely, and I see that with Spike. Me and Spike are very close. We get on really well. I'm down in Cork. I am on Monday. Actually, I'm staying in his place.
God love you.
Yeah. I'm down there doing a podcast, but just like that, his career didn't kick off till he was 32 or 3. And we were at an event the other night, and Pascal's brother Roddy was there, and he's like, Craig, your career's only starting. I was like, Roddy, you mad? I was about to leave last month. He's like, no, your career's only starting. So listen, it's a luck game. I went 33 last month. I'm still young, I'm still fresh. If I can get momentum behind me, God knows where they can take it, you know what I mean? We'll see what happens.
Well, listen, thanks very much for your time. I'm sure we'll obviously catch up very, very soon. Obviously, that's our first one out of the way now. The first one's always the worst. But obviously enjoy, main event next week in the National Stadium. And I'm sure we'll catch up with you very, very soon, Craig.
Yeah, looking forward. I'm sure I'll see you next week, Andy. But thanks.
Unfortunately, I'm in Belfast next week covering the show clashes, unfortunately. But
yeah, same gig, isn't it? Yeah, that's that got brought forward a week, didn't it?
Forward a week.
Right, so we won't see it. Yeah, no problem. Listen, thanks for coming down today, Andy. I appreciate it.
100%, Craig. Cheers, thank you. Take care.